Hey everyone, what's wrong here? And today I'm going to talk to you about map control. This is going to be a two-part video. The first part is going to talk to you about the general idea of map control, and then I'm going to show you how to gain map control as a terrorist. Second video is going to be about counter-terrorists, and it's going to have some um, pro videos between Team MVS and Cloud9, and I'm going to go ahead and show you examples based on that video. Alright, so map control. What is the definition of map control? Map control means having presence across the map and covering as much ground as possible. So let me give you an example of bad map control. And now I'm going to give you an example of good map control. So when you're playing Terrorist on Inferno, a popular thing that people like to do is stack in B. People kind of have like this mob mentality where they see the first guy and then the second guy and the third guy, and everyone just kind of gets stuck here. Well, unless it's a rush, you don't want to have 5 people B, because then what happens is you lose control of the entire A side of the map, the A side T departments, alt, mid, etc, etc. So if you send 4 or 5 guys and you take this challenge with a counter-terrorist, let's say like a counter-terrorist like pushes up, and you don't get that kill. Let's say you don't get that kill, he kills you, but then he spots all of you coming up. So like he goes here, he spots all of you. The other guy mollies, buys time. Well, what this does, once he makes that call out, hey, I saw 4 banana. Once he makes that call out, any counter terrorist who's playing up here, they're gonna start pushing, right? They're gonna. Oh, there was 4 or 5 there. All right, well then I better push out. You know, and he's gonna start pushing out, or you know, maybe he could push down even down T apartments. So basically, you guys are gonna get sandwiched in. The arch guy is going to start rotating, so we're going to stack 3, so the counter terrorists are going to stack 3B while you have 2A. So now this makes it very difficult to terrorists to execute onto any of the sites. Because you're already here in B, um, people already know that you're in B, and if you decide to move out, you might get you might get killed unexpectedly from a guy, you know, pushing down either like here, maybe he's holding here, or maybe he's pushed down all the way, you know? And he's coming to flank you from T-spawn. So you don't want to get stuck in a single area, and the same concept goes across all the maps. Even on like Dust 2, you don't want to go like 4 or 5 long and then just get stuck there and then come back out. Because if anyone decides to push B tons for the counter terrorists, then they have immense map control. So one more example. So again, let's say you have like people stuck on banana, you know. Let's say this time you have 4 stuck here. One person's like opping mid or something, right? But basically the terrorists decided not to get control of your apartments. Well, let's say you have one counter-terrorist who just likes to play aggressive all the time. He's playing dark room, one round he's coming up here, peeking this, maybe one round he even comes out. Or let's say he plays like semi-aggressive. So from dark room he pushes out, and then he decides to hold like this, right? So if any terrorists come up, he's dead. If any terrorists go up here, they're dead, right? But he has entire control of not just alt mid, but mid as well. And so he has control of all the apartments, alt mid, and here. And if he sees anyone, he can make that he can make that call. But basically, because the terrorists decided not to get map control on this side of the map, this one person is gonna make the terrorist life living hell, because he's gonna make the call, hey, I see nobody mid, they're all stacked towards B. So whoever was playing Arch starts rotating over to B, so you have 3B, and then now you could just have um, one guy on A, just like ready to rotate to either side. So if the alt mid guy, if the counter terrorist pushed up all the way here, kills someone, then you know he could rotate back to Arch, play from here. And if he doesn't see anyone, then he could just stack 4-man B. You know, this is not as common, but you at the very least you would stack 3 guys B, and that makes the terrorist job that much harder, because now you could have 2 guys on site, and then you could have like the third guy CT. So not only would they have to clear out, smoke out CT, smoke out probably spools, and then clear out the 2 guys on site, but then now you have a third guy right here, and then a fourth guy ready to rotate in, you know, about 5 seconds. And on top of that, you don't even have to use your resources. So the important thing is that if you don't gain map control, this could stir fast rotations from the opposing side and stack a site. So once that happens, that just makes the terrorist life living hell. The advantage that a terrorist has is that they connect proactively, which means the CTs are on defense. They get to hold all the angles, and the terrorists have to pry them out, but the terrorists get to choose where they go. Well, if the counter terrorists decide to play proactively and be the pushers, well then you just lose complete map control, assuming that you guys all went the same area, and that makes it that much harder on you as a terrorist. So you're gonna hear the term default, and default just means spreading across the entire map. Just to start. So default depends on map to map, but default for like Inferno would be 1B. He could play back passive if they play aggressive banana. He could play up by logs. If they play passive banana, then you could push up all the way with the help of a teammate's flash or something, nades and stuff like that. And then you have banana control. Anyways, you have one banana, you have one mid. Maybe he could be opping here, or he could go down here and hold it from Mexico. And then the rest of the guys will go up alt mid and gain mid control. So maybe you have one guy going up apartments, you have another guy coming down here, gaining mid control, forcing them to use smokes, and then you have like two guys working in apartments. Could just be one as well, just depending on how you want your setup. And there's like mollies and stuff, so you guys would be clearing the site together.
Fire!
There you go, that's the molly. Clear out dark room, and now you guys have apartment control as well. So the most standard CT setup is like one CT here, one CT pit watching apartments, and one CT large. Or maybe he's just playing up on apartments as well. But you, at least as a terrorist, want this kind of map control, and then you guys could decide to execute onto whichever site you want. So why is this map control good and wanted? Well, the biggest reason is you want to prevent rotations from happening, and you want to make it feel like it's their site that's being hit. So if you have map control and map presence, then you have exactly just that. Maybe, let's say you have map control along this entire banana. Eventually, most terrorist side players will get this, at least by like halfway through the round. But once you have this control, one guy can cause two guys to stop from rotating, or maybe even pull off a rotation from the arch player, right? So let's say you guys are ready to execute on A. Let's say the whole team is like around here, around apartments. But that one guy from B decides to throw a smoke, decides to start faking it really hard. So he'll come here, throw molly, for U-box right, or for first oranges right there. He starts throwing smoke, flashes. This means for sure that the two guys playing banana will not rotate. And for added bonus, you might maybe they overcall it. They're like, hey, they're coming B, right? So the arch guy starts rotating, all for one guy who's not even really gonna execute onto B. So this guy's basically throwing the fakes.
I am throwing smoke. I am throwing a flashbang.
Like that. You can see how this one pops. There's the first one pops over the roof, blah blah blah. And then he goes help his team on A. Now this A guy, it could possibly even be a 5v2. So by having map control across banana, you're preventing rotations coming in from CT. And on top of that, you have the added bonus of having a 5v2 on A site. Same thing, maybe you could like fake and execute on A. So you'll have like smokes maybe here. Most of the people don't know the smokes on Inferno, but like if you did, then you could actually do these smokes. So I don't know if I remember the
I am
smokes or
throwing
not.
smoke.
I hope these are it.
Smoke.
So there's the truck smoke. See, and basically you're smoking off the pit. So yeah, I do remember the smokes. So once you do that smoke, smoke off arch.
Throwing smoke.
So now the A players are like, hey guys, it's gonna be A. One guy could obviously cause a lot of havoc, while the rest of the team executes onto B. So it could go out vice versa. And again, this goes not just for Inferno, but across all other maps. So obviously, if you start throwing down smokes and flashes, people are going to think you're going to execute onto that site, maybe call off an extra rotator. So if you have, so like let's say the CT who's holding 3A2B, once you throw these smokes, even like the most common smoke,
Throwing smoke.
be like right here, and then you decide to flash over, you could at least,
Flashbang.
you could pop flash in, or you could, flash here,
I am throwing a flashbang.
ask for
Throwing a
pop
flashbang.
flash, boom, pop flash, and then just one guy. You just need one guy here, making a lot of noise. Then you pull off that one extra rotator from B, so now it's 4A, 1B, and now you guys could have a full 4v1 take onto B. So to gain map control, the best way to do it is to gain it early into the round. So the moment you spawn, if you see 3 guys go B, be that player that goes alt mid and play apartments. Be that player, who goes up, maybe play to watch window while another guy crawls up apartments. Maybe he comes from here, holds a passive, then starts creeping up. But basically, if you see everyone go A, then be the player that goes B. If you see everyone go B, be the player that goes A. Again, across all maps, this is pretty much the same. You want to start default, you want to start off by gaining map control first, and then decide what to do as a team. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this video. I'm gonna show you how to play for map control as a CT, and then I'm gonna have another video based on how to play map for information. I kind of covered it here, but I want to go into depth. But